Welcome back to
Okay.
Cousins Corner. It's been a while, but we're back. Thank you, everybody, for when you tune in, when you do listen. Thank you for listening on the podcast stations, all the channels. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in tonight. We're going to have a good one tonight. Meeting is being live streamed. I got it. Yes, indeed. So, Andrew Cuomo, he's in the news. Do you have free will? And I'm not the house Negro you think I am. Let's get started.
And we probably ought to talk about that mandatory vaccine too.
Okay.
Not only mandatory vaccine, yeah, they're going to be going door to door. You know, they're going to be going door to door.
So we
asking.
We could. They've come to my door already and asked,
and
I told them to get out of here.
That's right. They're not supposed to be to ask you if you've been vaccinated. They're not supposed to be to ask you about your health record.
Who is they? Who is they?
The people who's giving you a free will.
Oh, you're crazy.
But actually, I think allegedly that this Mr. Biden, President Biden, is starting a task force to go around to knock on people's doors to ask if you've been vaccinated, and if not, do you want the vaccination? And if you know anybody, tell them yes and get the Moderna, because I got Moderna stock and it's doing very well.
It's doing very well.
So
I got it at 71.
Oh, okay.
So
So
I got to get the Moderna because you got the stock.
Get the Moderna. Get the Moderna stock.
You must have bought in October.
I bought in February, something like that. I gotta look to see when it might have been around February when it was about $71.
Because I bought in February and it wasn't 71.
How much? Oh, you paid like 100?
Like 90.
Okay, so I probably did buy a little sooner than you.
Because it's down today.
To what? Is it still on the floor?
I just look real quick and look at the arrow and it's down. It dropped.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at it yesterday.
It need to go all the way down.
No, it doesn't.
They need to take it off the market.
It's going nowhere but up, my friends.
Yeah, but I've already made my money back. So that's
Oh yeah, it was when I looked at it yesterday, it was at 457.
Yeah.
Something like that. And today it's only at 456. Thank you, Moderna.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna be thanking them once that shot kick in.
Oh, I got free will, right?
Yeah, today's at 456.76.
Once they turn on that 5G, once they turn on that 5G, they hit that switch.
Once you try to have some more kids,
Curtis may not be Curtis.
And that Moderna kick in.
I think
your kids come out with 3 necks.
Hey, have one of them Moderna babies. And one of them COVID babies, they come out talking. Now, them things talking like at 6 months, full sentences.
In all seriousness, Jeffrey, they came by your house?
Yeah.
And what did they say? What's the bill?
They just want to know, have you been vaccinated?
Mm.
And I let them know this whole house here has not been vaccinated, but y'all could keep moving.
Wow. So you actually give them an answer.
Yeah, I gave them an answer.
You don't have to, though.
No, you don't have to. But they was going door to door.
So going door to door now in the United States, knocking on people's doors, asking people if they've been vaccinated or not. The task force is out. And people, do you have free will? Do you have to answer that question when they knock on your door? And ask
I didn't have to answer.
You didn't have. No one has to answer it, but
I chose the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, are they going door to door because they want to make sure that everyone has access to the shot, or are they going door to door because they are trying to persuade you one way or the other?
I think they're trying to persuade because New York here, if you notice, we're the first state where they're requiring if you want to go to a restaurant now, if you want to go to the movies, you must show that you got your vaccination card. So
Mm.
I choose not to go to none of it because you're not going to make me take a shot that I haven't decided to take yet.
What happens when you needed to go to the grocery store to get groceries?
Well, when they start that mess, then they got a whole nother war on their hand there. You understand what I'm saying?
I'd probably grab my Bible and carry that around with me from that time on, that day forward.
Because I now might be busting your grocery store windows out.
Well,
And giving everybody access to the groceries.
Come on, Pastor. Come on,
Hey,
Pastor.
listen, you don't tell me, you don't make me do something when you tell me I live in a democracy. Now, if I lived in a communist state, one of those countries,
right.
then okay, but you say this is a democracy. I voted for you to be president, and now you're gonna make me put something in my body that I'm not sure is healthy.
Off, I don't believe it's a federal mandate. It's at the state level. The states are choosing what they want to regulate. Here in California is the first state to require it. The employers can require their employees to be vaccinated.
Same thing here.
Right. So you're saying, right, but you're saying that New York is the first state that's going to make the movies and restaurants and things like that. So it's on a state level. It's not on a federal level now.
No, I know that. I know it's on a state level.
That you voted for him, so that means that this is.
I voted on the state level too.
Right. But I mean, it's not the federal that's making these requirements. So I think it's it's on the state level right now. But to each his own. I mean,
let me tell you something. I know people personally, just as early as yesterday and today. The young lady I know, she fully vaccinated, and now she's sick with COVID. Right? Somebody today that I know, fully vaccinated, and they died with COVID.
Really?
So my thing is, okay, you might say that's a rarity, but see, that's still a chance that I could be that one. And now you want to force me to take something that by chance, luck of the draw, I could drop dead. You understand? So it don't sit right with me.
Wow. I don't know if it matters or not. Do you know which vaccination they had? The one who passed away?
Pfizer, the one who passed away. The other one, I don't know which one she has. She's sick now. They called me yesterday.
Well, you know what? This is how I look at it. You're either going to die from COVID, you're going to know someone that died from COVID, you're going to get sick from the shot or not get sick from the shot. Everybody that's in the hospital here in California, 99.5 or 6% or something like that, they said, is not vaccinated. I do know of people that have passed away from COVID. I'd rather take my chances and get the shot than to say, I wish on my deathbed that I had gotten a shot. So I feel safe. Sure, they never said that you would not get it if you got the shot.
Right.
But that it was supposed to be proof pretty good that you at least won't die from it. So
there's a possibility that you wouldn't get as sick.
Well, here's my thing. Do the math. 99.9% of the people who get COVID don't die from COVID. Okay, they don't die from COVID. I know so many people. My whole family caught COVID. I'm talking about my brothers, sisters, my mother, my stepfather, who has all kind of underlying problems. He survived it. Okay, so they're trying to say, oh, you get the shot and it guarantees you probably won't die from it. But most of the people I know that caught COVID didn't die from it. You understand? So how could you really prove that shot did that? You understand?
Interesting.
But what about the people that did die from it?
Well, no, the people that did die. But here's the thing: what about the people who got the shot that did die? Like today, somebody I know, fully vaccinated, and did die from it, and they were young.
And what about the people that get the shot that did die from it? That's what I'm asking.
Here's the point. That's what I'm saying. It's a choice. You make a decision and then you take those risks, right? Don't
Right.
force it on me, because
Well-
I choose to take my chances with the COVID than the shot. Do you see what I'm saying? But you got people going around really forcing on it. Even some of my family members are trying to make me feel like I'm jeopardizing them because I won't get the shot. And the thing is, we're finding out that most of the people that are passing the COVID right now are the people who got the shot, because they're running around with no mask, feeling like they're immortal,
Mm.
and they spreading it because they still catching it with the shot. And that
Interesting.
and they're not telling you that, but
No,
that's
they-
what's happening. And then you
They
got
don't-
these
They never said you cannot catch it.
no, and they never said you cannot give it if you got the shot, right? But my
never
point is,
They never said you could not catch it nor give it if you got the shot. You can. You can.
Well,
and
but do you see what it's doing? It's making people feel like they're immortal, right? So they're not putting on their mask. They jumping up in people's face. I just came back from a big wedding. My brother's son got married in Virginia, right? And most of the people there from his church and everything, they did not wear masks. And then I didn't wear masks. I took mine off, and my wife took us off. We took a chance, right? And I thank God we didn't regret it. We came back and got tested, and hopefully, it came out negative, so we good, hopefully. But my point is, they were all running around because they got their shots. Even my brother, he all in my face talk. I say, hey, back up, bro, back up. Just back up, man. He like, nah, I got my shot. And that's what it's doing. It's giving people a false, hope
Security.
or false security. That's it.
Mhm.
Thinking that they all right. When the bottom line is, the only thing that's been proven that works is the mask and social.
Right. Right. And that's what my thing, I took the vaccine, but I still wear my mask because, you just don't know. And I heard that people with the vaccine or like the super spreaders or something like that, right?
Yes, they are the ones that are spreading it now because they won't put their mask on. You understand? So,
Yes, sir.
and the government, they don't want to force them to put their mask on because they want everybody to get the shot. So they want everybody to feel safe with the shot. So we don't really want to tell them that you still need to put your mask on.
Mm.
That shot is not guaranteed.
What doesn't make sense, this is what doesn't make sense to me. I'm glad everybody has a choice in this matter. But when you're born, you have to get the vaccine. You have to get the measles and the other hepatitis vaccine. I don't see any difference in that than this.
I'm ready for you with that.
You know what?
Because I do use to throw that one.
Hold on. Can I add to that before you add yours?
Go
So
ahead.
my question to you on that one, AJ.
How about I finish?
Yes, ma'am.
How about that?
Nah, you
How
can't
about
finish.
that? How about that?
So my point is, if we are born, and most of us in this age group have that little circle on our arms,
We do.
they never went away. So and at that point, I guess you could have had the choice of said, no, I don't want this happen to my child, but you wouldn't have been able to get admitted into school. So what is the difference between that with the hepatitis, the measles, smallpox, than today?
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you
I'm
right
ready
now.
for it.
I'll tell you right now, because they are not giving newborns and children the vaccination. Like you're saying that everybody has to have their vaccinations to go to school. You have to go get your smallpox and everything else.
Right.
You don't have to. The COVID vaccination is not required.
Exactly, I know.
Okay, can I answer it?
We know that it's not required, but my question is,
That's the difference.
I want to answer your question.
That's the difference.
what's the difference? And feeling like this is being forced on you, which
I want to answer it.
I know it's not being forced on you, but it's being heavily suggested that,
Okay, can I answer that?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
The difference is, first of all, as a child, I had no choice. And my parents had to make the choice for me, and they made the choice to give me the shot because they could have homeschooled me. But the real big difference is all of those shots that I took to go to school and all of that, they have been around for a long time, tested, side effects, everything else, and FDA approved
Well,
before they shot it in me. This drug here, all right, is not a vaccine. You want to know why it's not a vaccine? Because it ain't been approved, okay, to be a vaccine. It is an experimental thing they put out there because of emergency situation, and they don't even know the long-term side effects and even some of the short terms. That's why you have people having heart attacks behind it. A lot of people, you better do the homework. Their hearts done stopped and all kind of heart problems now, having all kind of, I forgot the name of all the different side effects that's been happening to a lot of people. All right. And then the long-term side effects, you don't even know what's going to happen a year from now with that stuff in there, because what it does, it goes in your body, right? It's a synthetic, and then they got chemicals mixed with it that Johnson Johnson and Pfizer and all of them won't even tell you what's in it because they don't have to, because it's an emergency situation right now. So they don't have to tell you all the chemicals they mixed in it. And it actually goes and messes with your DNA and your cells and everything else. And they really don't know. But now they got millions of people that got the vaccine, so they're going to find out what the side effects are. They're going to find out what the long-term stuff is as time go by.
If they don't know, how do you know?
I don't know. That's why I haven't taken it. That's the point. I don't know.
You just said it messes with the DNA and it messes with this.
Oh, no. The people that are pushing the drug I saw a whole seminar on it or whatever, a whole conference on it, and they broke down how it works in your body. Okay. But what they wasn't telling you is what they putting in your body. They're not telling you what's in with the synthetic and the whatever that other name was and all that. But they were showing how it works. You know, it literally tricks your body into thinking it's got COVID, and, you know, and causes your body to, you know, actually manufacture a false COVID or something to get an immunity against it and all of that. You know, and don't quote me on it because, you know,
it's no difference in the flu shot or shingles.
And I never take the flu shot.
And neither have I. But I know a lot of people get it and then they get sick. But it's no difference than any of those things. But for what I understand, the doctor that created this has been working on this for years. They just escalated the process. And if you recall, Obama even said something about we will during this lifetime have some kind of national pandemic, and it happened. So I think that, you know, it's a choice for everybody now. I'm glad that it is. I decided to err on the side of caution. And like I said, I do know a few people that have died from COVID, young people, and I just didn't want to be in that
number, right?
And I know a lot of people have died. I mean, I probably know more than y'all know of people that died, because I got about 50 people I know that died from it.
Really?
I'm talking about 50 people here in New York that I know have died
amazing.
From it.
Really?
Okay. And I still have not made my decision to take that, because I also know probably 50 people that caught it and survived it. My sisters, my brothers, my sister-in-law, my nieces, my nephews. You understand? The only one practically in my family that haven't caught it is me, my wife, and my two kids that live here with me, and my daughter, and her and my granddaughter. We're the only ones I know that haven't caught it.
Wow.
Okay.
So is everybody who caught it that you know of O blood type?
I don't know what blood type they.
I heard there's something about the blood type O, that when you catch it, you don't get it as severe.
Yeah, okay, I heard the same thing.
But blood I don't know.
O is that's the blood type you want. That's the superior blood type.
What blood type you said?
O negative.
Oh, O negative. Mm-hmm. Well, I got the blood type Jesus.
Well, that means that when you die, you will go to heaven. That don't mean you're gonna stay down here with that Jesus.
No, that means I'm covered either way.
Yeah.
There you go. Covered by the blood.
But
We all
thing
got, well,
is,
I got that blood type too.
it
But
doesn't mean
so negative, I say that is the superior one is because they can donate to any blood type. It's people want that blood type.
Right.
Hospital and blood banks want that blood type because they
And
can donate all types.
Right. And what you don't want to do is if you have it, you don't want to advertise it.
If you have the
O negative,
is that what you have?
you don't want to advertise it.
Because they're coming after you.
Why?
You might be strung up somewhere just for
they
your blood.
Stealing your blood, huh?
Siphon you. Siphon some out every day. If I get about a couple gallons and then fill you up with Gatorade. Just kidding. I think.
But that I am very I'm very upset that they are shutting everything in New York down. You can't eat out now, can't go to the movies.
Really?
As of August 16th.
Really?
You're not gonna be able to eat out. You're not gonna be able to go to the movies. You're not gonna be able to do anything in public unless you have a card saying you've been vaccinated.
Or you have free will.
Well, no, that ain't free will. That's my point. That ain't free will.
It sure isn't.
And so they, because of emergency situation, they can take that from you. So do we really have free will? Do we really have it? Are we really in a democracy?
You are. You just can't do the things that you used to do because of the rules. I mean, you can choose to not get the shot and not go to the movies and not go to the restaurants and have your food delivered and watch Netflix, or you can choose, but so that's still your choice. No one's saying, hey, look, if they were saying you need to get the shot or we're going to kill you, then that's a different situation. But you have a choice to not get the shot. And if you don't want to go to dinner or go to the movies or go here or there, then don't get it.
But
I told my wife, I said, we will not be going to none of them places. You're going to card me before I come in. I don't want to spend my money there.
Right.
Because truthfully,
you get to save a lot of money.
I went to the restaurant the other day in Virginia. Nobody had masks on. And they were talking all over my food. And I didn't want it. I didn't want it. Because the bottom line is I feel safer when you got a mask on.
Right.
Not because you got this shot.
So
I wanted a mask on, and I don't want to go back to the days where the waitress is sitting there holding my food in her hand, holding conversations, spitting all over my food. Well, I don't like it. I like it to stay with the mask now,
So all people who serve food should wear masks regardless?
That's what I think. I think that's how it should be from now on.
Yeah.
If you serve food, you should wear a mask.
I agree. Mask and gloves, because too many times they sit your plate down and they got some of your food on their thumb.
Yes. And not only on their thumb, they be checking to see when you told them no onions or something, they'll lift it with their fingers to make sure they with no onions on there. I mean, I watched them do that mess.
Right.
And I don't even want to eat out no more with the practices that have always been. And now the people trying to go back to that. Put your mask on. Otherwise, I don't want to spend my money. I told my wife I hated to spend my money in that restaurant watching how they were talking on my food. They holding conversations, my food sitting on the counter, and they just holding conversations between the cook and the waiter. And all you're doing is spitting back and forth. So I want them to mandatory mask.
That's how it is in California. That food service have to.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Has it always been that way, or is this because of the COVID and now it's stayed?
Since COVID. My son is a food server. He's vaccinated and he wears a mask.
That's interesting. That's good. I'd love to see that go on forever.
And that's what I want them to make mandatory. Trying to make it mandatory for you to get these shots. Make it mandatory people keep their mask on, man.
Wow.
Yeah. It is in California.
So is California shutting down?
No.
And none of these places going to shut down again because it's about money. So since you're not going to shut down, do the practices to stay open.
Yeah. There are some restaurants. There are some restaurants I've heard that are requiring you to have a vaccination card in Pasadena. A few I've heard,
Well,
but
when it goes, I'm sorry.
Well, they ain't getting my business. I built my own gym in my house, so I don't have to go to their gym spending my money, and you got to force me to be vaccinated. Because here, you can't go to the gym unless you're vaccinated.
Well, and the thing about that too, you walk in with your vaccination card. That does not mean that you're not going to spread something. So you have everybody in the restaurant vaccinated. Somebody could be just still passing the virus along.
They catching it with the vaccines. That's what I'm saying. They catching it with the vaccine. So it's like mask is the only solution right now. When we had that outbreak back in 1912 or something like that, the Spanish flu. All right. When that ran through, if you look at the pictures, people had masks on. They didn't have no vaccine. They got through it with the mask. I think we lost about 50 million people or something like that was the number, but they got through it with the mask. They didn't have no vaccine. All right. And I'm saying that's the only thing that's been proven that works. And that's what we should stick with. But we could change the subject.
Host.
AJ.
You still there?
Yeah. No.
All right. So one thing I did want to mention, we can go on and on about that forever, because it's really, I think, we are losing our rights. I think one good thing would be to have opposite days. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the restaurant is open for people who wear masks. Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays for people who aren't vaccinated. So you just alternate days, and the restaurant's open for everybody to enjoy. Vaccinated days and unvaccinated days.
Right, that's not gonna happen.
I just want to put it out there just in case.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Let me see. Let's go to dinner. No, we can't go to dinner today because it's no vaccine.
At this restaurant, but they have multiple restaurants on having the same thing on different days. So this restaurant,
what about the people that work there that don't want to be around people that are vaccinated? So you got to get the vaccinated people and they're non-vaccinated workers and.
Well, what's the difference right now?
Well, the difference right now, I guess some restaurants are saying, if you're not vaccinated, don't come. We don't want your business, and the people that are not vaccinated are saying we don't want to spend their money there. So
yeah,
it's
they're not getting my money. They ain't got to worry about me.
Yeah, hire more people. Hire people who don't mind.
My thing is, I done got used to cooking at home. Okay,
I've always cooked,
and I save much more money cooking at home.
Yeah, you're gonna save some money.
So, they ain't got to worry about me. Gotta get my money. And now let's talk about Cuomo.
Oh yeah.
Talk about my man Cuomo. I'm ready to get into it with my cousin Alicia.
Why?
And just FYI, it was in 1918. It was 500 million people who passed from the Spanish.
500 million. Okay.
Yes.
A lot.
But Cuomo, he's been in the news, and I guess he's on his way out, or he is out.
He's resigned, huh?
Well, he said in 2 weeks. He gave
there
a
you
2-week notice. He gave a 2-week notice.
What did he do? What's going on with Cuomo?
Well, they say he
we all know
he sexually harassed.
How many people?
About 12 people or something like that. 11 or 12 people.
Is that all?
So far, done come out the woodwork.
Wow.
Okay, and
wow.
They was pushing for him to resign because they was going to impeach him.
Who do you make mad?
Huh?
Who do you make mad?
Oh, he first of all, he made all the Republicans mad.
There you go.
But then he made God mad. Because when we were the height of the pandemic and we brought the numbers down, he said God didn't do this.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He said, I did this. We did this. You understand?
He used those words, did he?
Yeah, he used those words, man. And everything been going south for him since he said it. You taking credit for something like you God, and then he pushing them 8-month abortions. You can have abortion at 8 months when I was born at 7 months. So
wow.
you killing whole human beings fully developed in the womb, and he pushed for that, you know. So I don't feel bad for him, but I'm mad that he's resigning. You want to know why?
Think he should stay?
I think he should fight because I'm sick of people just making accusations and it's not proven, and you destroy a person's life without proving it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do it, but prove he did it. Because
But how do you prove that you've been sexually harassed?
Well, this is my point. Why didn't you come forward when it happened? Okay? Why did you wait all these years at this strategic time to come out with it? That's what makes me angry, because here's the thing. I'm a man. I've done a lot in my life, and I've been with a lot of women. And I came up in an era where we didn't sign contracts before we had sex.
Bill Cosby.
And you could have these women pop up later on after I blow up,
or Kelly,
all of a sudden saying, when I was 17, when I was this age, when I was that age, he did this to me. And I've had women lie on me that I didn't even know their name, being a pastor. Never touched them, and said they was with me, told people they was with me. So I know how easy that is for a man to get jacked up by just an accusation. Because people want to believe the negative. They don't want to believe the positive when stuff start hitting the fan. And I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm saying prove it. That's all I'm saying. Before you destroy a person's life, prove it.
But how can you prove something that happened 10 years ago?
Well, this is my point. How come you didn't report it 10 years ago?
Let me interject. As a woman that has been sexually harassed more times than I could
And
count.
I've been sexually harassed too.
Right, but I'm a woman and you're a man.
So no, from men.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So, but I'm a woman and you're a man. So there's a difference. There's a difference there. So if I was 6'4" and weighed whatever you weigh and had the chest that you have and the arms that you have, you know, there's a difference. There's a difference. So women are built differently. The whole just the physicality, you know.
Some of them.
So some of them.
I agree with you. I have a wife.
Let me say this. So there's a shame that comes with that, and I don't think any woman, and some may find it attractive or warranted or whatever she wore or what she said or whatever. But when you're in a situation such as the governor or Cosby in a position of power, and you're afraid that you're going to lose your job, maybe you're a single woman and you need this job because you have, you know, kids, maybe, you know, whatever the situation is. So every situation is different, but it's not like women can fight physically like the men can. Like you said, it's happened to you. Of course, men get sexually harassed all the time,
right.
but women are in a more vulnerable state usually. Not saying all the time. I'm just saying usually they're in a more vulnerable state because they're the employee. They're you know, it's a boss. It's a political figure. It's a whatever. And there's a lot that goes. I mean, you just can't just go out and call your girlfriend and say, you know, like Monica Lewinsky did, you know, with the president, because you see what happens. Or you can't just go out and call your girlfriend and say, you know, this is what he did, because there's a shame that comes on the woman that's really unwarranted. So as time goes on and you build up the courage to say something, and then you have people say, well, why didn't you say something 10 years ago? Well, because I couldn't mentally. I wasn't mentally in that frame of mind. And a lot of times people are young. They're young women. They're trying to get their careers going.
Right.
And this is you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do, who to call. You don't know what to say.
Right.
So, you know, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen and everybody is a liar. It just means that person couldn't come forward at that time. And you have daughters. So if they're on the job and this has happened, you may not know about it for another 5, 6, 7, 10 years. And you
So
know,
true.
let me tell you what happened
So
to
true.
me.
Right.
You know, let me tell you what happened to me back
So true.
then, because it happens all the time.
Right.
And you cannot get that, you won't get 12, 15, 50, 100 women to conspire with the same story that don't know each other. Whether they do a Zoom call and say, okay, he did this to me, did that to you. No, I mean, it's just a pattern that the man has. So that is, it may seem to be strategic at the time. I don't know what political influences are involved with the Cuomo, but I do believe that I take exception to, you know, when people say, well, why didn't they come forward 20 years ago? Well, you mean when I was 20 years old, you know, trying to get my career going?
Right.
You know, so that's
Had no support. Probably out there by yourself.
Can I say something?
Right.
Okay. I was doing security detail for the Million Man March. Remember the last Million Man March that Farrakhan put on? You remember that one on Washington?
We've heard of it.
And I was doing security detail. I was an officer at the time. All right. And I was guarding some of the prominent bishops and preachers that were coming through. Right. And one of the big bishops, he came through and he literally grabbed me and kissed me on my lips. And I was about to go upside his head, but every gun in the place was on me that I bet not touch him. Farrakhan and all of them guarded him like he was gold, and he got away with it, right? He got away with it. That was a sexual harassment, right? I'm gonna give you a couple examples. I couldn't do anything about it. I felt powerless because of all, had I tried to do something about it, it was gonna get shut down on every level. And I was gonna get the bad end of that stick. That's how I don't want to get a man's name. That's how powerful this man was. All right. And Farrakhan and all them big wigs protected.
Okay, so for that reason, I'm a little lost because
hold on. I'm giving you a couple examples as a man.
Right.
The same
sexual
thing.
harassment.
And I was powerless.
Feeling powerless.
And
so
it was a shame that came with it too.
Exactly.
Because a man kissed me.
Can you give us initials?
All right.
Can you give us
I'm not gonna do that. But here's another story.
Just two initials.
I'm on the job. Mind you, I'm an officer on the job. I'm new on the job. I'm on probation, right? And a young lady who wasn't on probation got a crush on me, right? She asked me out. She was another officer. I'm not gonna give her name, right? And I told her, you know, I didn't really want to go out with you, whatever. Next thing you know, I almost lost my job because she wrote me up for sexual harassment and said that I did something to her. And I literally, to save my job, had to set her up with a tape recorder on me, you know, later on, and got her to say, well, listen, if you sleep with me and have sex with me, I'll pull that out of your folder. I'll dismiss the charges against you.
It'd have been out of my folder.
Now, here I am. I needed that job. I'm on probation. I would have lost my job with that, you know, that charge on me. And she would have got away with it if I didn't have the wherewithal to tape record her and set her up. So men are going through this mess. Trust me, women are lying on men and they're doing the same stuff, but most men are not going to report it.
So true.
So I'm saying, let's not act like it's not happening. It's happening.
I don't think the conversation is whether it's happening to men or women. The conversation is, your statement was, why are they coming forward now? It's no question that it's
I'm only talking about people that are like Cuomo, very powerful figure,
right?
And strategic. You can get 11 women together if with all this money out there. And with all the connects and how people want to tear people down, you can get 11 women to say the same story. Just give them the story to say.
Oh,
that's why I said prove it.
Right.
Because they using this to take down.
Because he's not a nobody.
Men.
Because he's not a nobody.
Using this.
Right.
And I'm not saying that these men haven't done this.
Right.
I don't know. Just like OJ. I don't know whether OJ killed his wife and Ron Goldman or not. But you couldn't prove it. So you got to let the man go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did prove it, but
They
there
didn't
was-
prove it. They didn't prove that
Hold on.
OJ killed.
I can't hear what
killed
you
him.
say. I can't see what you're saying.
I think they proved it, but that's a whole nother thing.
They didn't prove it.
They did not prove it.
It wasn't. We're
Free
not talking
OJ.
about men are being sexually harassed. I don't. Maybe I lost the
No,
subject.
my point is, when you go that hard and come in that high, it needs to be some proof before you just take somebody down. It needs to be some proof, because I'm a victim. I'm a victim of getting convicted for something that I didn't do.
12 people might be proof enough, and in fact, I mean, he's resigned. So
12 people has been proven not proof enough. Look at all these 30 years in jail. People are getting exonerated after 30 years because a jury decided or cops decided to plant false evidence. It's not proof enough. 12 people, not in the day where people just lie and they can be paid off and all kind of stuff. It's not proof enough.
Well, apparently it is, because he's resigned.
Be too flawed. He resigned because everybody abandoned him. So
Right.
best believe he had no choice to resign.
He had no choice but to resign.
He could have stayed there and fought it.
Well,
No, he couldn't. He had nobody on his side. And the reason why I'm feeling that, because the thing that I got messed up with, right? I had nobody to back me.
Right.
But I went through it anyway. I wouldn't, I wasn't going to, you weren't going to get me to say I did something I didn't do.
Right.
So I took the consequences of going through it. I didn't do like him and accept the deal. But my point is, he didn't, he resigned because he had nobody to back him anymore.
And there's a lot of people telling him that he needs to resign. I can only imagine the phone calls, the emails, the threats, and all that stuff saying, you need to resign. And like you said, I understand where you're coming from, AJ, and also I understand that at a high level like that, it would be easy to get 20 people to say he did it.
They become instantly famous. Shoot, I'll say he did it to me. You know what I'm saying?
If I get in a lawsuit,
you know what I'm saying? They become instantly famous by saying it. So my point is, maybe he was that guy. And here's my thing. If we know anything about Italian guys, and he was single, yeah, he was probably very aggressive, touchy.
Well, I mean, that's probably an unfair statement to put it on his race, but
no, his culture is known. That's how they flow.
But he's a man. He's a man. Period. And that
I don't do what he do. I'm a man.
But you're one person. You're one person. We're talking about the masses, and we're not talking about Jeffrey Burns. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the masses and how often this happens. That's what we're talking about.
I know it happens often.
Men in power.
But shall you beat up a man for what another man did? This is what's happening with the Me Too. Just because you got for years, this has been happening. It's happening to innocent brothers now. Women are just making statements. I've had them make it on me because they thought they could get some money, and it was a lie. That's why you think I'm feeling the way I feel? I mean, because I'm not that brother. I ain't never been a brother that had to take none. I ain't never been a brother that had to beg for none. Women always freely came to me, but I still had women to lie on me like that. Just decided they want to lie.
No one. I don't think anyone is saying that it's not possible, because anything is possible. But your comment was, why are they waiting 10 years?
And I understood your answer.
That's where we were. Yeah, because that's what we were. It wasn't, does it happen to men or does it happen to women? Why do they wait 10 years? That's what the issue was.
But you have a son. You have a son. And a woman does that to your son, right? The first thing you're going to say is, why did you wait all these years? You're going to say that.
It's not. No,
you ain't gonna say, oh, well, I believe you. My son probably did that.
No, I'm going to ask my son what happened, and then we're going to go from there. But that's not what I'm going to say, because I understand. I'm a woman, so I understand. I understand that happens.
I was watching some NBA highlights. I saw one NBA player come off the floor, walk over to the bench to another NBA player and grab his stuff. It's on camera. You think that guy reported that, or you think he was too embarrassed or felt powerless to report?
I just saw that in the Olympics with the female basketball team. That one that sound like a man. I won't say her name, and she's the tallest one on the team. She went and smacked one of the other girls on her behind so hard. You know, that's sexual harassment.
That's good game.
That's a little different than what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's good game, good shot.
No,
Yeah,
let me tell you something. That's how they get over with that mess.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I've seen that video, Curtis. I've seen that video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of, and I wonder if that guy reported it, or if he's going to wait.
He didn't report it.
I'm sorry.
He did not report it.
There you go. But he may later on down the line.
But I think social media has because I saw that a year ago or so.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, that's I kept looking at it to make sure that's what was happening, but yeah.
I looked at it like 3 times. I'm like,
Yeah.
Listen, as a pastor, I had a young lady come to me and told me right after, we were all like at a social event, and she came to me and said, Pastor, one of your ministers violated me. They violated me, and you need to do something about it. You know what I told her? Go to the police.
oh,
Why you bringing it to me? Bring it to the police. She never went. Never went. Do you see what I'm saying?
So, but what does that mean? Does that mean it didn't happen?
That man, if the man violated you, take it to the proper place. She brought it to me because what I felt like she wanted to do was get him demoted in the church or some, mess him up with me, but she didn't want to go through the proper. If he did what he did, he needs to go to jail.
She didn't want to go through the humiliation, the public humiliation. So she thought she can go to you in confidence and let you know what happened. That's what that is. I mean, here's the position I was in. There's no proof he did it. I'm not judge and jury, right? Yeah.
But you want me to do something about an accusation you made when that is not what I can do. Take it to the courts, take it to the police, let them hash it out and get a DNA test or whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Pastor.
But she didn't want that.
Pastor.
She never did it.
Pastor. Could you ask him in church if he did it or not?
First of all, I believe he did it. Okay.
I'd ask him in church.
Because I always felt he was that type of dude. Right? And from that point on, I wouldn't have him around anything. I would protect everybody around him. But she would not go report it.
Well, okay, for whatever reasons, again, for her, she didn't report it, but mission accomplished. If you decide to protect the women around them.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
She did the right thing.
It wouldn't happen again under your watch because you're going to make sure that it doesn't happen.
You're just waiting to hear it.
I kept my eye on him, and then he went into the army and ended up getting court-martialed and faced a rape trial. But he beat that trial.
But this doesn't, just because he beat it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So he's got a mark. So there it is.
And just because it happened, just because he was brought up on charges, don't mean it did happen.
That's what I'm saying.
But in this case, it looks like it might have happened.
Because it seems like it's a pattern.
Exactly. Propensity to this is his thing. This is what he does.
But the jury exonerated him. In the military, the jury, or however they do it there, exonerated him.
So, if you listen to this broadcast today or any other day, have you ever been sexually harassed, whether you're male or female? I get it all the time. I feel like just going to the grocery store, just pumping gas. And so I'm kind of used to it at this point, walking around Atlanta and, just getting sexually harassed the whole time.
Yeah, you in the oasis of it, man.
I'm just saying, sometimes I make it happen. So I try not to make too much eye contact.
Every time I come to Atlanta, do you know I deal with that problem there? You know, it's just I went to House of Pancakes there,
So,
and,
yeah.
and a gang of dudes at a table, and somebody said, and I stopped and I said, "What's that about?" Well, you know, when I see a good-looking man, I said, "Listen, what you need to see." I mean, I read him. I read him on that one, but I said it's a doggone shame that a man can't walk around in that state without feeling like a woman. You know what I'm saying?
I was talking about
Thank
women
you.
though.
Thank you.
I was talking about women harassing me, but I understand the story.
Oh, you talking about the women?
Yes.
I'm talking about. I come there, the men. They on it, brother.
I'm talking about the whoa man.
Grown,
Woman.
nasty man. I don't. Oh, I don't even want to say it, man, because I don't understand it. Can't understand it.
What I do want to mention, about the Capitol Police. There's been about 4 suicides from the Capitol Police.
Yeah.
And in reference to the insurrection that happened, when was that? February 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th. Very sad that these gentlemen do not feel like they're worth anything because they saw that happen in their capital. I guess they're in disbelief that something would happen like that in our country.
Very sad.
I'm gonna say this to that. I don't think that it has much to do with that. Okay, it's mental illness.
Yes, sir.
Is at an all-time high right now.
Yes, sir.
This pandemic and everything else that's going on.
Right.
Breaking people down, and they just happen to be cops. They happen to be Capitol Police.
And there's a lot like that.
And it's a lot of pressure on those jobs, and a lot of people can't take pressure. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is what's happening. I think that had very little to do, that the insurrection, with them killing themselves, because we got the police here in New York, they killing themselves left and right. You know, so many suicides keep going on. Every couple of weeks we hear about another cop killing himself. That's all over the country.
But I think it's a little unfair to say you don't think it has anything to do with that, because that might just been what puts them over the top.
Puts them over the edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
They deal with a lot of stuff. So that might have just been the icing on the cake, so to speak.
So true.
Everybody, they should have new testing, than they have when they hire these people for those type of jobs. Because those jobs, if you got any break in your, in yourself, those jobs is going to take you over the edge.
Yes, sir. And the thing about that, though, if they do too much testing, how many people will be on the force?
You're right. Most people wouldn't pass it.
Yeah.
Right. I passed it by lying when I got on the job. I sat there and they gave me that psych, had that psych sitting there asking me questions. I gave her the answers I knew she wanted to hear.
Right. I'm sure
that's what a lot of people do.
That's interesting.
I told her what she wanted to hear, because I knew if I told her the truth, I wouldn't get hired.
Wow. That's interesting. It's like if they told us that gravity is just a theory and it really isn't. They're probably breaking all of us down.
I don't understand that comment that you just, because gravity is real.
It's real once you find out it's real.
Yeah, I can look at myself in the mirror and see that it's real, because everything's going south. So I can see it. I know it's real.
Thanks for the visual.
Thank you for the visual that we did not need, cousin. But the thing about that was, if gravity was real in that aspect, you would have always had that problem. But you cannot say that gravity, because the weight distribution is the same as it has always been.
Yeah, but
therefore it would have been.
I let this go. It's not gonna drop.
It's because of the mass that
you don't have to. You can use your mental telepathy to keep it up.
It's because of the weight of the device. So you're trying to tell me that this thing that you call gravity, that you call is real, while this Earth is spinning at 666,000 miles per hour, hailing through space at what speed, turn at an angle at 66.6 degrees, and the Earth is spinning that fast, heading in that direction, gravity is holding water in place. So all the water's not flying off the Earth.
You're saying if I let this fork go, it shouldn't drop.
It will drop because that has weight.
That
Because it has mass. Because it has mass.
That's not gravity, though?
No, it's because it has mass. It has weight. And it's heavier than the air that you're dropping it through. But
Gravity.
but helium is lighter than air, so therefore it floats up.
Okay, cousin, you lost me.
You're talking to an egghead. You know, he one of them super smart people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you ain't gonna win this argument.
He may be one of those super smart people, but I'm smart enough to know that gravity exists.
So if Newton saw that apple fall and it hit a puddle of water, he would notice that the water splashed and went up in the air, and it came
They
down
went
after
back
that
down. The puddle.
because of the weight of the water.
Okay.
Well, me, I'm not gonna even try to fix my brain and try to break that down.
No, me either. I just know that.
I'll leave it for you analytic type people.
No worries. No worries. And we're not going to fall off to Earth because it's flat either.
The reason why we're not gonna fall off the earth because God's word keeps us on the earth. How's that?
That sounds great. That's perfect answer. Good. Because God's word.
It's why the earth hasn't been destroyed, because God's word keeps it going.
There you go. I'd say that's God's word that makes that fork fall versus gravity. It's because God says it, he wants it that way.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Those are laws that he put in place.
And gravity is only a theory.
Okay. All right.
So what cousin's saying, those things that are drawing down on you, cuz, it's because the weight of it.
Yeah. That I believe.
and it's not gravitational pull. It's because as you age, your skin loses its strength.
Right.
So therefore, exactly. That's what makes it seems like it's a gravitational pull, but it's actually the weight because of the right.
So if you just had nipples like me, they would stay the same like they are. They've been for years.
Yeah.
You know?
They won't
go nowhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think on that note, I think we're at the end of this, right?
Can't touch this. I can't touch that. Can't touch that. Thank you all for coming for being on here, for tuning in. If you ever listen to this anytime in the future, please like, comment, and share these videos. Tell us what you think about the topics that we talk about. Go in the comments, and if there's any topics that you want us to talk about, and I'm tongue-tied, please put it in the comments. Which one next week? Yeah, I'd like to bring up the topic of gravity. I'm just kidding. Next week, please tune in again. We're going to have another topic. I would like to talk about, how this Delta variant is in the school system. I know we talk about COVID a lot, but it's really going to affect the learning. And what's the relevance of that? And also, cousin, this is for you, Pastor. Does it seem like that everybody's just kind of sitting around waiting for something to happen? Does it seem like people aren't as concerned about working? Does it seem like people just aren't concerned as they used to be, and we're all waiting for something, but we just don't know what that is, but we feel like something is about to happen? Tune in next week for the answers. We're looking forward to you tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in to Cousin's Corner. We're looking forward to seeing you all back here. Same cousin time, same cousin channel. Thank you all.
All right. See you guys.
See you later.